All right, everyone, it's Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, the Daily Fail, meme review, software releases, the websites by plebes. We've got it all, and today we've got special guest, fellow Bitcoiner, Surfer Jim is joining us on Simply Bitcoin.
Hello.
All right. All right, let's go to the numbers. Let's do it. Current block height of 674,065. Current Bitcoin price 56,320. Chain rewrite days 611. Total lightning capacity 1,139.32. Bitcoin versus gold market cap 9.33%. Sats per dollar. We're still below 2K, which is nice. 1,777.
Man, these numbers are looking phenomenal. Satoshi could not contain himself. For anyone who's new to the channel, this is Satoshi, the Bitcoin rubber chicken, and he clucks every time the price of Bitcoin reaches an all-time high, which was very close today, which is why he half clucked before I could... I had to stop him. He couldn't contain himself. But I suspect that Satoshi is going to be happy very, very soon. But Phil, that being said, it's a perfect time for
the Daily Fail. All right, so this is a bad one. Anyways, if capped supply BTC is sound money, decreasing supply ETH is ultra sound money. That's more like ultrasound fail. Okay, so look, we all know the story of ETH, so we're gonna break it down quick. There is no they don't know what the current supply is, and there is no cap. Okay, so the mirage of burning a shitcoin that has no ceiling is ridiculous and stupid, and you can't even verify the circulating supply. So you know what? I'm really sorry. Burning it makes no difference at all. It's the same exact garbage. And why do they toss back and forth between like being money and being a world computer and being this? And it's like, just pick a narrative and stick with it, you know? And obviously they can't be money. So whenever they decide, okay, we're money, but then some other times, well, we're not really money. It's just weak, man. You know?
It's constantly changing the goalposts to make it work. It's like a Ruth Bader Ginsburg perpetual energy machine. You know, it sounds amazing on paper when you pitch the idea, but just it never works, man. They could never get it to work, and that's because it can't work, right? And you know, there's so many fundamental problems when you move to a proof of stake system, which is Ethereum. This is what they pitch for Ethereum's future. That exactly, you're still waiting, and the reason that you're still waiting is because you can only mitigate those issues, right? It's like the 51% attack. That is the big problem with the proof of work system, but there's only one big problem, right? And that problem gets solved, or it doesn't get solved, but it becomes economically unfeasible for someone to exploit that attack vector. The higher the Bitcoin hash rate continues to keep going higher, which is exactly what's happening, which basically makes it economically unfeasible to attack something like Bitcoin, right? But with the proof of stake system, there are, I think, like a dozen different huge attack vectors or things that could be taken advantage of, and the only way to essentially fix them is to mitigate them, right? You can't completely fix them. So it's just, man, it's just a heaping pile of garbage. But I'm very curious to think, Jim, what are your thoughts on everyone's favorite shitcoin, Ethereum?
The number 2 cryptocurrency. It's kind of laughable considering the amount of changes it's been through, and the, you know, what their goal, how they keep moving their goalposts, everything you guys just said. I'm sitting here thinking, as I'm listening to you, thinking about all the other shitcoins that are built on top of Ethereum. How much more exponentially bad are they when you figure their underlying protocol is a mess? And to think that somehow going through to a proof of stake system where the biggest stakers are the guys who got the pre-mine, that currently basically control the protocol. I really it's a stretch to call it decentralized, to say the least. So it's a joke.
It's beyond a joke, and you're exactly right. Like that's one of the many problems with the proof of stake system is man, just the founders have everything at stake, right? So it's just imagine if that happened to Bitcoin, if Bitcoin was a proof of stake system when the 2017 essential Bitcoin cat when Ver teamed up with Bitmain to try to take over Bitcoin. Imagine if that would have happened. They would have successfully done that, right? So it's just, man, well, it makes our job easier because it gives us tons of fails, so that's awesome. But Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, everybody, the meme for today is brought to us by a plebe. I love plebe memes, and he looks like he's Italian and Swiss, so an international Bitcoiner, freaking awesome. Check out his Twitter handle at Bitcoin_Ador. Anyways, memes can help understand that Bitcoin fixes this, and it's Conor McGregor getting knocked in the face, a $1.9 trillion stimulus, and people's purchasing power. Epic meme, very strong imaging, very easy to understand. Yeah. Phil, wow. After careful consideration, you know what? I have really dry eyes, so I'm going to give it one of these empty eye drop vials. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I got to agree. I mean, that is a solid score, and I hate when I get itchy eyes, so Visine. Anyways, not that we're sponsored by them. We are not, so just saying. Yeah, it's totally solid. You don't even have to be into Bitcoin. You simply look at it, and it totally speaks for itself. That's how it's done. This is worth a carrot and an apple.
I like it. Carrot and apple. And yeah, Phil is absolutely right. We are not sponsored by Visine. However, if you are like me and you spend the whole day looking at your portfolio on your iPhone and your eyes start to get very irritated, if you type in simply Bitcoin on Visine.com, you get 15% off. So just so you guys know, just kidding. That was a terrible bad joke. But Jim, what would you rate that meme?
So I like the fact that the international community is aware of the crazy stimulus that our government is trying to inject into the world economy, which ultimately it does affect everybody on the dollar standard. So it's a great meme from that perspective. Conor McGregor's certainly worldwide known, and it really does hit it home pretty quickly, pardon the pun. And so although it's a very good meme for sure, I had not seen it until tonight. I came prepared with my top pick, just in case it was out of the park, the best, which would have been this awesome custom ballpoint pen. But it's a notch lower, so I'm going to have to give it this mechanical pencil, which is really still up there, quite high.
Technology, right?
Yeah.
And creativity.
Yep.
I like it.
Phenomenal scores. Jim, that was some of the most mind-blowing scores we've ever gotten on Simply Bitcoin. Mechanical pencil. Wow.
Can I just credit the meme lords for the new rating system? I have to say, it's got a lot of room to really scale. I have to say, there's a lot of room on this scale to scale it.
There is no
like a shitcoin.
Our rating system. Our rating system is a shitcoin. That means anything goes. Anything goes. Anything goes.
It's getting better with every episode.
It's getting better, but yes, there is no ceiling. We are not constrained by a numerical system.
It's great. That's the best part.
Let's see. Let's see what the hell happens. It's gonna be interesting to say the least. Yeah. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. The news for today. I'm especially excited because we got freaking Surfer Jim on, and he's gonna tell us the weather report at the end of the episode. If he could be so kind, that'd be awesome. A Simply Bitcoin Surfer Jim weather report. Anyways, the news for today, especially this notable tweet brought to us by Pomp. Printing $5 trillion in a 12-month period is insane. We've been covering how much money they've been printing. We've showed you the Fed sheet. Absolutely crazy, but you know what? It's very hard to actually visualize what the hell that looks like. And this is an incredible image, which helps you visualize what the hell $5 trillion would look like. Look, this is you. This is you. You see this tiny little, where my cursor is? That's what a human being would look like next to 1.9 trillion. Imagine what they would look like next to 5 trillion. And that's how much money printer go burr. And of course, you know, the Treasury Secretary Yellen says stimulus unlikely to cause inflation problem. However, the Fed himself, Powell, has himself admitted already that, you know, they might experience some near-term inflation because they can't hide it anymore. They even discontinued the chart on the Fed website because it's become so apparent the amount of money printing that these guys are doing. And now they're essentially handing out helicopter money. That's like kind of the stage of where fiat is. And man, the mainstream media is supporting this narrative. And it's like a communist country. It's freaking crazy. Biden stimulus showers money on Americans, sharply cutting poverty and favoring individuals over businesses. Man, that is such freaking crap. You know, and it's become normalized, and I don't know whether it's because the world has shifted politically or because this is the late stage. This is the end stage of fiat. It's dying, right? This is death throes, this craziness, right? This absurdity. Am I the only one to see that? Phil, what are your thoughts? And then of course we'll get our guest thoughts.
You know, they got nothing left. I mean, really, at this point, it's you know, before at the very least, right? We had the, you know, we had the guy hidden behind the curtain, and nobody knew that he was there. But now that's it. The curtain's been lifted. Everybody knows he's there, and everybody's watching him do the sleight of hand tricks. You know, so it's this horrible cringe show that you wish you could just stop or hit undo, but you can't. You know, so you got to watch these people sit there and, you know, pretty much just look like complete idiots and frauds and, you know, lie to us as the ship just sinks, telling us that the parts that are dry are still safe.
The parts that are dry. And it is true. Remember, they went from don't wear masks to wear masks. You know, and this whole idea of masks, right? You know, it's like you can't even say that. You can't even say your opinion on it. They want to cancel you. They want to make you disappear. So, Jim, I know you've been very vocal about all of this, and what people don't realize, what a lot of people, the people that are so plugged into the matrix, don't realize is that they're giving up their freedoms for security. And I think it was Benjamin Franklin that says people that give up freedom for security deserve neither, right? So Jim, what are your thoughts? Rip it, baby. Rip it.
Well, as you know, the masks, I'm totally against the masks. I really don't ever wear one unless I'm absolutely forced to, like on a plane. And I was in Colorado, and the crazy people out there made us wear them on the lift line on the ski slope. I can't even fathom.
Dude, I was there, man. They did the same thing. You're in a ski line, you're outside, it's cold, incredible. Everyone's breathing, and they're like, put on your mask. And you're like, and you kind of put your thing up, and they're like, it's stupid.
Yeah, you just come down from a run, you're all out of breath, and they make you cover your face and make it harder. It's absurd. But around where I live, luckily, I get away with no mask all the time. I think it's insanity. The government is, you know, has gained a lot of control over the people because they control the money, and they're losing that control because their control of the money and their greedy nature, which is like all people that get this kind of power, they're printing too much, and it's going to implode. And we are in the death throes of the dollar standard on this planet. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's not going to stop going in this direction. They really can't undo it at this point. Just like Phil said, it's too late, and they're grasping for straws.
So you would say that it's what's happening as of late is kind of the symptoms of the late stage of fiat, the last stage of fiat. What you're saying in society. And I just want to point out another article, how absurd these things have become. It's should you wear, and I know this would make your blood boil, Jim, should you wear 2 masks to prevent the spread of COVID? So, just to remind you guys, we went from masks are not affected to masks are affected. Now 2 masks are effective. And it's this, we at Simply Bitcoin, again, we are apolitical, so we don't have a political belief. We don't lean red or we don't lean blue. We lean orange. We lean Bitcoin. So because we lean Bitcoin, we believe in freedom, and we know that the government is not going to use this crisis to go to waste, like they didn't use the terrorist crisis in 2001 to go to race to pass the Patriot Act, right? So, and we're not the only ones that believe this, right? This is the headline of this article: "Don't let leaders use the coronavirus as an excuse to violate civil liberties." You've already seen that happening. Again, we would like to disclose we do not lean left, we do not lean right, but it looked like in some of the left-leaning states, some of the blue states, unfortunately, some of the leaders over there, the government leaders, treated their own citizens and put them in harm's way because of some beliefs that they had. Right. Of course, this contrasts to how other governors reacted. Texas just announced that they're going to open stuff up. So, Jim, what the hell is happening here? What's happening with the world? Again, you also see while everything is happening, you see advertisement from the World Economic Forum saying stuff like, "You won't build back better. You won't." And it's scary because everyone's saying it at the same time. Every single world leader. And they're saying stuff like, "You'll own nothing and be happy by 2030. So, Jim, what the hell is going on, man? What is going on?
It's an extension of what we were just talking about. And I describe it this way. The people that run this world are the people that control the money. And because they get to control the money, they get to control everybody who touches the money. And those people that get to touch the money first are the richest people, the politicians, the lobbyists, the corporate elite. And they understand, everybody understands that there's a line to be towed here. If we toe the line, we win, we at the top. And so they've been doing it for decades and decades. And now people are starting to realize that, wait a minute, why do we pay taxes when they can just print as much money as they want? Well, hold on. How is it they could just tell us we can't go to work? I own this business. I invested my life savings, and I'm not allowed to have customers in my store. Whoa. What is going on here? And who are these people that have the nerve to actually tell me this? This is insane. You did it. Everybody does it. You referred to the government as this thing. It's just other people, and they're fucking us. Excuse me, but these people, these other human beings, don't care about you and me, and they have the ability to screw us over. Why? They control the money, which controls the narrative. If you want to say anything on media today, the people that control the media, they get their money from above, and so they're told what to say. Everybody's told what to say, and most of these people at the top, there's all dirt on all of them. And so they can't cross the line. They've all been given a silver spoon in their mouth that they could do what they want, and they take advantage of it. When they're least expected, dirt is collected on all of them. They collect it on each other, and they hold it over each other. And so nobody rats anybody else out. That's why Hillary Clinton's not in jail right now. Donald Trump swore up and down she was a criminal. Why, as the president, could he not get her put in jail? Because they're all on the same damn team. They got as much dirt on Hillary as they got on Trump. They're all the same. right? So these people control, they are closest to the money spigot. The central bankers of the world really control this planet, and they control every single narrative. But that's going to end because they don't control Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, once it gets into the hands of enough people and they opt out of the fiat system, luckily these idiots shot themselves in the foot last year by doing all this, by these draconian lockdowns, by this fake mask mandate. There's not a single scientific study that proves this does anything. A vaccine that's already out there getting shot into millions of people with a month worth of testing? Like, give me a break. Whoever would have accepted that a couple decades ago when vaccines were becoming normalized, right? I mean, normal science is being thrown out the window. Proper evaluation of everything is just being thrown out the window for a narrative that's being pushed from every angle in society. It's off the charts. And it's all because they control the damn money. And this is all going to change for a couple generations after us. I may not get to see the full change of it, but I am certainly going to do my best to help it come about for future generations, for my kids, grandkids, everybody else's kids, whatever. Like the world, people of the future need to inherit a better world than the one we're living in right now, because this is crazy.
Let's effing go. Hell yes. This is exactly why we brought Surfer Jim on here. If you think he is exaggerating, Bitcoin will free mankind. That is not an overstatement. That is exactly what's going to happen. It's going to take time, and it is our responsibility as Bitcoiners to tell everyone. You don't have to tell anyone anything crazy. Just tell them there's a better way. There's a better system. And of course, that better system is the orange coin, baby. That wakes you up from the matrix that is fiat. Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right. Looks like we've got Zeus version 0.5.0 that was released, and that is down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys, that was our show. That was a very special show because we brought a pleb. But this guy, listen, if you look up the definition of a pleb in the dictionary, a picture of Jim will pop up because this guy personifies what it is to be a pleb. You could go follow him, find out more about Jim, see what his mind is saying. Go follow him on Twitter at SurferJimW. And of course, he has this awesome Citadel 21 article. It's called Bitcoin as Real Estate. And you should definitely go check it out. It's in volume 4, and we will definitely link that down in the link description. Find out more about this surfing, living pleb, Bitcoin pleb, and that is Surfer Jim. And Jim, please tell us what the surf report is today.
Oh, well, for me, it's crap. The waves stink on Long Island. So, but one day, as you know, one day soon, there will never be a shortage of waves here on Long Island because I am involved in the very first wave pool on Long Island, the Long Island Surf Park. You can Google it. And we've got the property. We're waiting on permits, and we're going to build the first wave pool, and I'll be able to go surfing whenever I want.
And that is awesome because I've been seeing the pictures. It looks legitimate, and I'm telling you, you meet Jim and the energy you get from this guy. This guy loves Bitcoin and he loves surfing. That's who Jim is. And thank you so much for coming on our show. Guys, I know it's a little different. I always say that, so I'm going to stop saying that. Different is cool. Different is awesome. But anyways, guys, if you liked our show, don't forget to smash that like button. If you love our show, and if you just want to hear more about, just Phil and I talking about Bitcoin and reporting the crazy world to you, hit that subscribe button. And of course, we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.